Namaste. Welcome to our wisdom talk. So today's topic will be on acquiring knowledge. My name is Nityanandadas. I'd just like to pay my respects to my spiritual teacher first. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutade Srimate Siddhasrupananda Paramahamsa Tinamine. We're going to begin class today with some kirtan meditation, focusing on the mantra Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. 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 Gopala Govinda Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. 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 Thank you for joining us for that meditation. So today's topic, seeking spiritual knowledge. Human beings are naturally curious to learn about those things which interest them. Therefore, the first thing we should consider is how to find the most qualified, bona fide, and authentic teacher who has the knowledge we would like to acquire. These days, most people use the internet to source answers to their questions. But unless the source of your information is actually authoritative, you will not get bona fide, accurate information. To explore the paths of yoga wisdom, we take guidance from the famous ancient yoga text, the Bhagavad Gita, which was spoken by Lord Sri Krishna over 5,000 years ago. The Bhagavad Gita describes essential yoga practices which help us to achieve the actual goal of yoga, self and God realization. These essential yoga practices are: 1. Jnana Yoga, the acquisition of transcendental knowledge. 2. Karma Yoga, the application and understanding of that knowledge in our daily life. And 3. Bhakti Yoga, which is the loving devotion to the Supreme. So the literal meaning of transcendental is that which is beyond. So transcendental refers to that spiritual dimension which is beyond this material dimension that we currently live in. Spiritual does not mean the world of unembodied spirits or ghosts. As yoga wisdom mostly deals with non-material knowledge, it is important to understand the difference between the two methods used by everyone to gain knowledge. These two methods are the ascending process and the descending process. Ascending knowledge occurs within the dimension of the material world, where everything we know comes to us in three different ways. The first is by direct experience. We can know something because we directly experience it, either by smelling it, tasting it, touching it, seeing it, or hearing it. For example, we know fire is hot because we can feel the heat on our skin. The second is by the power of reasoning. We can know something because we use our powers of reasoning to draw conclusions on previous experience. Every time we see fire, we can remember that it is hot. The third is by hearing. We can know something because we've heard about it from someone or read about it somewhere else. For example, reading a book or listening to a lecture on a particular topic. In each of these three methods of gaining knowledge, we rely on our senses, our minds, or the senses and minds of someone else. Therefore, they are known as the ascending process of gaining knowledge. We are trying to figure out something by using our own ability. However, when we try to apply these methods to gain transcendental knowledge, which is knowledge that is beyond our senses, we experience limitations. This is due to the fact that our senses are imperfect. They are limited in power. For example, the eyes are not able to see everything in reality. When we look at the moon, it looks flat, and so does the ocean. We cannot see things that are very far away or things that are very small, so it has a limited power in providing us knowledge. The mind is also limited in its ability. Our mental conclusions may be based on incorrect information from our imperfect senses. Even if the information is correct, because the mind is limited, we may reach faulty conclusions. In addition, the mind may not remember everything, or it may not be able to process everything. And the third limitation is that we can become illusioned. For example, I might see a piece of rope and mistake it for a snake. Descending knowledge. The method of understanding transcendental subject matter is given by the Lord in the Bhagavad Gita. Spiritual knowledge cannot be gained by trying to work it out using our mind, which is limited, our senses, and intelligence. The only way that we can actually gain knowledge about that which is beyond the realm of the mind and the senses is to accept that knowledge that is coming from the Supreme Being. There are three ways of gaining material knowledge, and there are also three ways of gaining spiritual knowledge. The terms used for gaining this spiritual knowledge in the yoga texts are 1. Shastra or scripture. 2. Guru, which is the self-realized spiritual teacher. And 3. The Paramatma, which is the expansion of the Supreme Person within our own heart. By contemplating transcendental knowledge received in these three ways, and applying this knowledge in our lives, we can taste the sweet fruits of such yoga wisdom and eventually attain the highest goals of the yoga system, the perfect self and God realization. So the first method, Shastra, means revealed scriptures as well as texts with the conclusion that are in line with the conclusion of these scriptures. It is not confined to the scriptures of any one religion or path. The Vedas also are known as Vedic Shastras, are ancient textbooks of wisdom which contain a vast amount of information of this world, our spiritual identity, and the spiritual world. The primary text we use is the Bhagavad Gita, as it is, which literally means the Song of God. This knowledge has no tangible historical beginning. However, the present form, which we are studying, was spoken and recorded approximately 5,000 years ago. It was at this time that Shastra began to be written down by the great saintly person Srila Vyasadeva. Previous this time, man's ability to recall the spoken word was far greater, and there was no need to record it in writing. So the next form of receiving information, transcendental knowledge, is through guru. The term guru is now commonly used as an expert in many fields. But in the truest sense, a guru is a fully self-realized spiritual teacher, coming in a lineage which is known as a sampradaya of other such self-realized spiritual teachers. A guru is not self-made or self-appointed. A bona fide guru or spiritual teacher is not covered by the illusion of identifying his material, temporary body and mind. A bona fide guru or spiritual teacher is not covered by the illusion of identifying with his material body and mind. A bona fide guru or spiritual teacher is not covered by the illusion of identifying with his temporary body and mind. And due to their loving relationship with the Supreme Soul, they are compassionate and care about the well-being of all living creatures. A bona fide guru is free from duplicity and the desire to cheat others, and is likened to an ambassador or a transparent medium of the spiritual realm. So knowledge spoken by such a person is non-different from Shastra. And to understand Shastra, it is most beneficial to have a self-realized spiritual teacher to explain it. In much the same way, a medical student has a teacher to help him understand his medical texts. A bona fide guru can help one understand and apply transcendental knowledge in their own daily life. A nice way of also explaining this: it is not possible for a boat to cross the vast and treacherous ocean without a captain. And similarly, it is not possible for a person to solve the problems of life unless he takes shelter of a bona fide spiritual teacher. So the third way of receiving transcendental knowledge is through the Paramatma, the Lord within the heart. The word Atma means the individual living soul, and the Paramatma refers to the Super Soul, the partial expansion of the Supreme Soul situated within the heart of every living entity. The Paramatma, or the Lord in the heart, always accompanies us in each body that we take on as a dear friend and well-wisher. Out of compassion, He gives transcendental knowledge to us from within our heart on how to return to our original blissful spiritual consciousness. But we may not be interested, or even may be too busy with our own life to be aware of His presence. Even if we want to receive guidance from within, we often find it difficult to hear Him. However, the process of yoga are designed to purify our heart and mind so that we are more and more able to hear and experience the Paramatma from within our heart. In the Bhagavad Gita is the following quote: "I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness." So in summary, to become enlightened, we need to find a bona fide spiritual teacher. Therefore, it is essential that we listen carefully and thoughtfully when seeking such knowledge. We must be careful not to follow our feelings, emotions, or our mind, as they can easily mislead us. It is essential to have Scripture for that subject matter which is beyond our material vision, a living spiritual teacher for guidance, and the Lord in the heart, the Paramatma. The information from these three sources must be in harmony for us to be safe in our quest for spiritual knowledge. So, conclude the class today. Again, with some kirtan sound meditation. Again, please join in and focus on these transcendental sound vibrations that can help us to go to a deeper level to understand this spiritual knowledge. Gopala, Govindarama, Madana Mohana, Gopala, Govindarama, Madana Mohana. Madana Mohana, Gopala Govindarama, Madana Mohana. Gopala Govindarama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govindarama, Madana Mohana. Gopala Govindarama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govindarama, Madana Mohana. Let's chant the last one together. Gopala Govinda Govinda Raman Matana Mohana. Thank you very much. Namaste.